Yo, what up? We got the day Larry Bird became the best rebounder because before then it was what's his name, man? What's his name? I forgot.
Here sounds impossible. Larry Bird, a small forward, grabs 21 rebounds in Game 1 of the 1981 NBA Finals versus Moses Malone, the most
Moses Malone. Yep, him.
dominant rebounding center of a generation.
Larry Bird with a rebound. Oh, is it physical? Bird again.
That was the key play of the game right there.
The Boston Celtics have won it, 98 to
Larry
95.
Bird.
Highlight, most valuable player
Larry.
will go to
Larry.
Larry Bird. Bird coming up with 18 points, 21 rebounds in this game.
Now, you might think this was a fluke. However, just 2 days later, Larry Bird comes out in Game 2 and does it again. Grabs another 21 rebounds on
What?
top of 19 points and 5 steals.
Oh
And
no.
somewhere in the middle of all that, pulls off a sequence so special that it was almost better than his left-handed putback layup in Game 1 that Red Auerbach called the greatest play he'd ever
Wow.
seen.
That's crazy.
47-41. Very good point. Henderson broke it up. There's Bird again. Larry
Good
Bird
steal.
goes
Ooh, behind the
Henderson
back.
back to Bird.
Hey.
Look at this crowd. They've seen so many great plays, but they still appreciate number 33. Larry Bird was 10th in the NBA in steals. He came up with a steal, and you saw how he completed the play. He comes up with an unbelievable play each game. I don't know if you saw game 1, but it was one of the best in the history of this game.
Nice.
The highlight ends in a reverse layup, but the story begins with a steal. May 7th, 1981, the Boston Garden. And Larry Bird is about to remind everyone that genius doesn't always look the way you expect.
Well, Houston will have to control the
Larry
backcourt.
Bird.
Celtics because Celtics want to run. And the only way you stop a team from running is control the board. That means you got to control so that they don't get second and third shots. But on the offensive boards, that they get no clear rebounds so they can get that first pass out to get the fast break started.
That mean you got to box out. See? Ooh.
There's Bird inside. A basket by Larry Bird. He's had
That's
possession in the
offensive
entire
rebound.
series inside.
Well, he stuck inside Robert Reed that time and had the beautiful position, and he's really been something on the boards. I have to say that. He's really surprised and impressed me with his rebounding this whole season.
I think tempo is probably important to both ball clubs. Houston would like to stay in a half-court game a little bit more than most clubs, and we'd like to run a little bit more than most clubs. But often the team that wins is a team that can do well with their weaknesses, not necessarily their strengths.
Against Archibald, rebound. There's Bird again. He had 21 rebounds in the first game. Out to Archibald. Archibald who can penetrate.
Nice.
And that was a great play. Malone intimidated by Parrish with the air ball. Here's Bird to Robert Parrish.
Ooh, okay, Rob.
And that's 8 straight points that Boston has run off as Houston calls a timeout.
Larry Bird already with 5 rebounds in this game.
Well, I think my job in this series is just go out and play my game, play my typical game, get some assists, really hit the boards well, and score not a lot of points, but enough to keep our team going. Because I know when we go down in the final minutes of the game, they're going to bring the ball to me no matter if we're up or down. I know I got a talent that a lot of people don't have, and I just try to go out and do my best for the fans.
Larry Bird, Calvin Garrett staying up on him. Bird with a move.
To the right.
Larry Bird with 6 points. 4 somethings. 3-pointer by Fours. Bird followed. Bird and Roby were there. I don't know who they're going to give it to, but it will count. Both men were up. Follow tipping on that play. The basket will count. It's a 4-point lead after the first 12 minutes of play.
They go to the board real well. You know, they get out and run. We got to stop their running game. We got to play tough defense, and we got to be tough man. And when we got to play against the Boston Celtics.
Midway through the second quarter, as Houston tries to set up a play, nothing fancy, just a safe pass in the post to calm things down. Bird reads it immediately. He steps in, takes the ball clean, and as Bird starts the fast break, he flicks the ball behind his back to Gerald Henderson with no hesitation. The Garden is
That's
already going
crazy.
crazy because that pass alone is highlight reel material. Behind the back in transition, threaded between 2 defenders, dropped perfectly in Henderson's hands. Bird keeps running, circles back into the play, gets the ball back, and slides under the rim for the reverse finish with the left hand. The crowd loses its mind.
47-41. Very good point. Henderson broke it up. There's Bird again. Larry
Yeah, because
Bird with a
you did
steal.
not expect that
Henderson
pass,
makes it
bro.
Bird. Beautiful. Look at this crowd. They've seen so many great plays, but they still appreciate number 33.
That's a great
Right
play.
here, he anticipates beautifully, steals the ball from Paul, keeps it alive, makes this pass to Henderson behind the back. Now look at Henderson. He draws the defense, a beautiful bounce pass.
Ooh.
Bird has trouble with the ball, finally gets it back, and makes a reverse left-handed layup. Super play.
Larry Bird never looked like a lockdown defender. That's why people underestimate exactly what he was. But that entire sequence started on defense. It always did with Bird. He didn't erase shots at the rim. He erased options. He took away your first read, he disrupted timing, and he jumped passing lanes, turning defense into instant offense.
And yeah, he could pass great
Right
too.
now they're running again, Bill.
I agree,
Henderson on
100%.
the pull-up jumper.
Larry Bird finished game 2 with 5 steals. That number doesn't happen by accident. It happens because someone understands timing better than the person with the ball. One steal turns into another possession. Another possession turns into momentum that Boston desperately needs. And one of those steals turns into the play that everyone remembers. 5 steals in an NBA Finals game is
Ooh.
dominance. Quiet, defensive dominance. And if you watch closely, Bird is everywhere. He's helping on Moses in the paint. He's switching on to guards, staying in front of him, forcing him baseline. And when Moses got the ball in the post, Bird was either the primary defender or the first one to help, making Moses feel bodies everywhere he turned.
Off it comes to Moses Malone. You can see the difficulty he's having. Tell you, that's got to be frustrating for Moses. He has people picking away at him in there.
That defensive intelligence is the reason he rebounded the way he did. Because defense and rebounding are connected. Bird
Yes.
understood that.
Say that again, bro. Yes.
The way he did. Because
Defense
and
and
rebounding
rebounding
are
is
connected.
connected. Yes, bro. I don't know. That kills me, bro. When niggas play all this fucking defense and don't want to get the rebound. Or niggas that don't want to play defense but trying to get the rebound and get a sit. You have to play defense.
Bird understood that instinctively. When you disrupt rhythm, shots change, angles change, bounces change. And that is the part that people miss when they talk about rebounding like it's an athletic contest. Because on this night, it was a thinking contest. And Bird was winning it.
6-point lead. Tom Henderson trying to cut it to 4. Larry Bird, he's fouled.
Wow.
Calvin Garrett, it'll be a loose ball foul.
What Larry Bird did was once he got the hand in there, he put his body in to protect the ball. And you watch where he put his body right in between the defense, the other guy, and the ball. That's to make sure that you either get the ball or a foul.
That's when you realize that Bird's operating on a different level of understanding. By halftime, Larry Bird already had 8 rebounds, while Moses Malone had 7.
To me, the man is a very smart player. He's thinking the whole time once he's on the floor. He's not very fast, so he has to use his mind and try and outthink you.
4. Bird. Well, 1.
Take that.
It can be very frustrating because you can do a good defensive job on Larry for maybe 75, 80, 90% of the game even. And yet every time you make a mistake, every time you fail to concentrate and let up, Larry will find a way to hurt you. Maybe with rebounding, maybe with passing, maybe a steal, it may be a hoop, maybe a drive, maybe a dish off. But he'll find a way to hurt you.
Yeah.
Good defense by the Celtics that time.
That's good, man. That's good basketball. He ain't with punk ass basketball, bro.
Bird off to Henderson. To Bird.
Bird and Henderson and give and go. That's the old give and go play.
Henderson to Larry Bird.
Swish.
Bird now is really starting to get the hot hand. I can't say enough for Henderson. There's the rebound leader, 17. Larry Bird also now has 19 points in the game.
In the second half, the Rockets were getting frustrated. Their entire defensive strategy was built around limiting Boston's transition game.
Bird, Robert Reed. He needs that confidence builder. That's not really helping.
That's too far out on that shot.
Wow.
Reed going high against Maxwell. Rick Roby. He follows.
The Rockets tried everything. They sent multiple bodies at Bird to keep him off the glass. Didn't matter. Bird would position himself early, seal his man, and time his jump perfectly. He turned rebounding into a chess match. While Moses relied on athleticism and tenacity, Bird relied on positioning and anticipation. Both methods worked, but on this night, Bird's method worked better. And the best rebounder on the floor was a second-year small forward from French Lick, Indiana.
Larry Bird.
French Lick, Indiana, what?
Gerald Henderson. Point. Maxwell.
That was set up by the outlet pass Larry Bird made to Gerald Henderson.
Larry Bird finished his career averaging 10 rebounds per game. For a small forward, only Bird and Elgin Baylor are in that elite territory. But when you stack the history of all the small forwards who could rebound, Bird stands apart because he did it when the game got tight. He did it when the bodies piled up, and he did it in the NBA Finals, when the game demanded something a little less glamorous than scoring, even when Boston lost.
Moses Malone. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Whoa, he just got that shot off. Larry Bird, who seems to come up with the big plays, comes up with the ball. And now the Celtics have asked for a timeout. We have 11 seconds left in the game. And we now got to figure that Boston looking to send this into overtime unless they get an unbelievable three-point play.
Ever since I've been in college or in pros, the ball has always came to me. They always want me to do the final shooting or try to hit the last second shot. They go to me 80 or 90% of the time. I want the ball because I'm supposed to produce in them situations. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, but I want the ball in a crucial situation.
Here we go. 11 seconds left in regulation. You see the time.
I don't disagree.
Larry Bird. Back to Tiny. And the Houston Rockets have evened it up. The Houston Rockets have broken a 14-game losing streak to the Boston Celtics. They even up this best-of-7 series with a 92-90 win. And I am really impressed the way Houston stayed in this one.
Boston didn't win game 2, but it's one of the clearest windows into who Larry Bird really was. A defender who saw passes before they were thrown.
Broken up. There's Bird again. Larry Bird with a steal.
That's so cold, man. Like behind the back.
A rebounder who beat centers without jumping higher than them.
Trying to hit his third in a row. There's Bird inside the basket by Larry Bird. He's had possession in the entire series inside.
A star who could control a finals game without ever forcing it.
I think Larry Bird can beat you even if he doesn't score a point on the basketball court.
The scoreboard says Houston figured something out, but Larry Bird did too. He learned how Houston wanted to slow him down and how physical the series was willing to get. But most importantly, he proved something that would define his career. He proved that he didn't need the game to look a certain way to control it. If it turned into a shootout, he could score. If it turned into a wrestling match, he could get down and dirty with the best of them. Moses Malone ended the game with 15 rebounds, but Larry Bird ended the game with 21.
Wow.
That's 21 rebounds in game 1 and 21 rebounds in game 2. Back-to-back performances against a team that featured the quote-unquote league's best rebounder. That's not a fluke. That's a statement. And if you really want to understand Larry Bird, outside of being the greatest shooter of all time, outside of being the greatest trash talker of all time, but as a competitor who could bend a series without lighting up the scoreboard, this is the game. The night Larry Bird went to war on the glass against Moses Malone and conquered territory that everyone said belonged to someone else.
I think Larry Bird can beat you even if he doesn't score a point on the basketball court.
Well, like how they just fucking threw me into another video. Celtics Cavs ECF. Oh yeah. That's Larry Bird last game. I'm gonna literally watch that at the end. Ain't no point in watching it now because we gotta go through 81, 82, da 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 da.